Hello everybody, thank you for joining us. Today we're going to do a quick sketch of Sideshow Bob from The Simpsons. So Sideshow Bob is a recurring character, not as much as I would like him to recur because he is one of my favorite characters on The Simpsons. We're going to do a headshot, so let's just try to see how we can fit this in because Sideshow Bob has some really outstanding features. The difference of character design even from the very generic and basic sense of The Simpsons. So his head is like elongated, sort of like longer, among the longer faces in The Simpsons. So we can do an oval like this, but then this area we need pretty much for his hair, which he's known for. So Sideshow Bob, just to let you know, is actually also an accomplished person in the sense that he is very well spoken. He is a PhD. He has this very polished tone about him when he talks, and Sideshow is the moniker that sticks to him because he was Krusty the Clown's sidekick. So let's do this first. So it's like his hair sticks out like a palm tree. We'll just go like that, and again, one of the brilliantly done and portrayed characters that shows immense contrast and sometimes very realistic tones in terms of character conflict. So he was created by a host of people actually. So I checked it out, and he was, of course, Matt Groening had a hand in this, yes, and that is his sketch pretty much. Right. And let's have him. He has these bags under his eyes. So Sideshow Bob was Krusty the Clown's sidekick until he got fed up with Krusty's practices and he rebelled against him, and he actually tried to frame him, I think, for either it was like robbery or it was some kind of crime. So his hair is what this it's like scraggly, thing that is going. Just setting the margins there again. So it's like what do you call it? Like fluffy, or yeah, very thoughtful design. So Sideshow Bob has also seemed to be has this psychotic thing about him. And I think it was one of the Treehouse of Horror episodes in which he was shown to mimic the famous Cape Fear character, but done with, in sort of a tasteful way. So that is Sideshow Bob's sketch. I think that's pretty much okay. So he has the same yellow skin tone. We'll just put in some tones there. So we were talking about Matt Groening creating this character. He's voiced by Kelsey Grammer. I'm pretty sure most of us are familiar with Mr. Grammer from both Cheers, from Frasier, from a host of movies. So he voices Sideshow Bob, and that is why Sideshow Bob has traces of that well-spoken, distinctive sound for this character. So he is what do you say? He was also created by Sam Simon, along with a host of other people, as I mentioned. But Sam Simon, who prominently also wrote for many key acts in American television. That was the proper color, actually, not that one. I mistakenly put in the dark brown there, so that will just act as a, I guess we'll just have to let it go that it's a tint. So his hair is like I think it's like burgundy red. So we will just use these pencils for now and maybe infuse some red into it while we are talking about Sideshow Bob. And so it took an extensive team actually because there were some different ideas being thrown around. Let's have him do this, or let's have Sideshow Bob speak like this. And then it was a brilliant idea that in spite of being Krusty's sidekick, he was shown to have a PhD. He has also run for mayor, or I think he actually became mayor of a certain small jurisdiction neighboring Springfield. And then of course he was ousted by Bart Simpson again. So as I was mentioning, Sam Simon has done what we call on the sitcom Cheers, on the sitcom Taxi. He's done some like fairly commendable writing duties, and of course one of the other people who were also involved were Jay Cogan, and he has written also for Frasier. So it seems like all of these gentlemen came together. For example, Frasier was of course a key project in which Kelsey Grammer was Frasier, he was the main character. So it would seem that Joe Cogan came to know about Mr. Grammer. Of course he knew Mr. Grammer, but so it was an infusion. So he picked Mr. Grammer from there, and Mr. Grammer pitched the idea that, you know what, I could maybe pitch in to this particular character and make this really work for Simpsons on an ongoing basis. So the voiceover is brilliant for the character, and it's one of the more well-liked and distinct, as I mentioned, recognizable tones that is used on The Simpsons. And of course, the other thing that also really works for the character is his enmity and hatred of Bart Simpson. So he is that psychotic, well, not entirely, but yes, slightly psychotic character that actually strikes fear into Bart Simpson. And what's more, that he was also at one time married to one of Marge's sisters. I believe that it was Selma. Yes, he was also married to Selma. So we're just trying to replicate those outward tints along the hair, just to put a little extra color in there. Now that is not the exact proper color. We will try to see how this blends in. I think it's also not the exact color. Let's try. Yes, think that is more of a tone for the characters here. So let's work hard a little bit right here to get that infusion of red and orange, and maybe just fade it out toward the going up. So if you somehow have not checked out Sideshow Bob, you should. It's a very entertaining take on one of the other socially depicted overachieving yet very conflicted characters, which are overachieving but who also have this serious pitfall in terms of how they have come to utilize that potential. For instance, Sideshow Bob's scheming to bring down Krusty the Clown, or sorry, not to bring him down, but to just exact like revenge on him. And then his hatred of Bart Simpson, in that Bart Simpson, who is not exactly the most intelligent student in Springfield, outsmarted Sideshow Bob. All these like little conflicting but very entertainingly done tones sit very well together to create the character that this has come to be known to like regular watchers. So we put out content every day, so please do subscribe, keep in touch, and until the next video, have yourself a wonderful day.